I have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you? I'm Batman.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now. Hey
Hey
now.
now.
Hey
Hey
now. Hey now. Okay, I'm gonna get started with hey now. You are watching or listening to. It depends on the format, but this is the Batman on Film vlog, episode number 11. Well, I say listening because I'm ripping the audio, Rick, and I'm putting it as a podcast because the fans requested that, so I obliged them. I still have to get number 10 on the audio from last week. Quick shout out to Chris Roach. If you hear the music before the vlog starts, that is due to him and his great musical ability. So shout out to Chris Roach. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Roach Music, and that's with a Z in the music and not an S. Also shout out to our Patreon patrons, Ed Koski, Rick. Ed Koski.
We love Ed.
And Peter Vera is a patron, but he also is a part of Batman on Film, so he's kind of supporting himself, I guess. That's cool. And also Alex Jordan and Mauricio, if you feel obliged, you like what we do, and you want to support Batman on Film, go to patreon.com/Batman on Film, and every little bit helps. Rick, how you doing, man?
Good. I'm looking forward to seeing Ed in March. He's coming to Dallas.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Yeah.
Yes. Let me put these on so I can see. Yeah, I'm gonna get up there for that, dude. I'm gonna get up there, and we'll have some sort of good time, I imagine. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the events of the week. I'll leave the one I think we'll get most passionate about last. Just to shout out, Gotham by Gaslight is coming out here shortly. Mm-hmm. Rick Justin is going to the premiere in Los Angeles. I hooked him up. He's bringing a camera crew, dude.
Nice.
And, yeah, bringing a full camera crew. Should get some good video interviews with the cast and crew, which
that'll be awesome.
And I'm stoked for this movie. I'm
me too.
Very excited for it. It's my favorite Elseworlds Batman story. I've always wanted it to get an animated adaptation, and it seems they're not doing a straight up, Rick. They're not doing straight up like they did Batman Year One or The Dark Knight Returns. They are using it as more of an inspired by and adding a lot to it. So it's not. There's some surprises along the way. Yeah.
As long as they don't make dumb decisions like they did in The Killing Joke, and it's great. I don't even care for straight adaptations, man. You and I both talked about this.
Yeah.
Not even in animation. I mean, if they do it and it's great, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I just want if it's inspired by and it's still great. Think about it. Any novel that we've ever read that we've loved, right? Mm-hmm. I've just been kind of revisiting some Anne Rice stuff, and I think about like Interview with a Vampire. That movie is very different from that book. That book is awesome. That movie is awesome. And that's kind of like my mindset when I go into these things.
Yeah.
I judge them separately.
Yeah.
As long as they don't, right.
I'm a inspired by guy, you know. A lot of
Right.
times people write me and they'll say or tweet and say, "Would you like to see The Long Halloween get a straight up adaptation?" No, I wouldn't. Inspired.
Not saying I wouldn't watch it or like it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm not. No.
You know what I'm talking. I mean, there was a little Long Halloween in The Dark Knight, you know. So
Sure.
That's my preference. Do the inspired by. Even though, and I say that, and I really liked. I liked the Year One animated movie. I liked The Dark Knight, but. You know what happens? You've read it. I've read those millions of times before I saw the movie. So
Right.
That will be on February 5th. It's a Monday, I believe, but it is February 5th. It is at glasses, y'all. It is at the Paley Center for Media in Beverly Hills, California. And also, if you go to Batman on Film proper and find the story I did about this premiere information for Gotham by Gaslight, you can attend. There's a way to get tickets through Batman on Film. So there's an email address. Go to Batman on Film, find it, email Gary, and he'll hook you up, and you get to see the premiere at the Paley Center in Beverly Hills. All right, so
Yeah, it was awesome.
all right, Rick, let's go. Our friend Mario Francisco Robles has started a new site, Revenge of the Fans. Nice little site, and he had a story this week, and I recapped it on Batman on Film on Friday. He says the current slate of course, you know there's like a mile-long list of announced DC movies, right? I mean, you know.
Correct.
Even I think they announced an Amish Bug video at some point, movie at some point. And anyway, he says the actual slate is as follows, and some of these are happening for sure. And apparently, or when I say that, they are already have filmed or they're about to go in production, and then a couple of them are in pre-production.
Pre-production, yeah.
Of course, Aquaman, Shazam, which is about to start filming, Wonder Woman 2, Suicide Squad 2, Matt Reeves' Batman movie. I'm gonna stop calling it the Batman till I hear an official title from him. I don't know if I've heard him call it the Batman. I know Affleck was calling it the Batman, but whatever. Matt Reeves' Batman and Flashpoint. He also says that 2 other films are about to be added to this list. An untitled sequel to Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, and you'll like this, Rick, because it's our good friend, Nightwing, Chris McKay, Nightwing. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, the one that I think will be the least likely to come off that slate, if one would probably be Flashpoint.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Right. Otherwise, I'm actually surprised that Suicide Squad 2 is looks like it's a go. And
Really?
that one, yeah, I am. Only because, Bill, because it's all sort of consistent on how I've looked at this thing from 30,000 feet. Like, some of this stuff is going to get moved around, soft reboots. Now, here's the thing. They can still do these soft reboots in Batman and maybe even a little bit in Superman, right? And then still do Suicide Squad under the umbrella of these soft reboots that's still consistent with how it was before. Does that make sense? It'd be an interesting hybrid, so to speak.
I would say with Suicide Squad 2 was pretty much a given because it made money. It made more money than Warner Brothers thought it was, and they loved Harley. And Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn was a hit. So
it was a total hit.
Yeah.
I mean, how many shirts did she sell at Spencer's Gifts all over the country, right?
Yes. So
and she's great.
You can still soft reboot that thing. Even,
you can.
There's no.
Yeah.
I agree. So,
but also the thing is that Suicide Squad 2 is so much more of a testimony to a shared universe. You kind of can't get away from it if it's Suicide Squad 2, right? You know what I mean? Like, we talk about our predictions, or maybe not so much even predictions, but maybe more our wants of Matt Reeves' Batman and what we, might expect, quasi predictions, I guess. And you could say that if the way that we've approached that in terms of how you and I would like to see him do it is, well, first of all, we want him to do his thing, period, whatever that means. But we think and kind of hope that it's either a prequel, a Batman Forever from Batman Returns, that kind of thing in terms of a soft reboot. So Suicide Squad 2, when you fit that film into this equation, seems a little bit inconsistent with what we've been talking about.
I think it's even though it's a team up film, it's the Suicide Squad itself is kind of a solo film in a way. You know the analogy I'm making. It's the Suicide Squad group is just like Superman and Man of Steel. It's you know what I mean. So
right,
I think
you don't have to have cameos from the characters in there.
Well, speaking of which, let me ask you this.
It'll certainly be interesting how they handle Batman with that.
There was
fascinating.
There was a little buzz that and one of my industry people I've talked to for years and years here on Batman on Film, just said, hey, there's a chance maybe Affleck shows up, his last hurrah as Batman is doing some sort of cameo in Suicide Squad 2. He also mentioned Flashpoint, but I don't know, man, with this Affleck thing. Do we really want to rehab? I mean, do you think Affleck will cameo in Suicide Squad? What's the point? What would be the point?
Million times. I've said it on Twitter. Like, it's almost vomit-inducing to have to talk about Ben Affleck. I feel like this is like gossipy. It's not our fault. It's not. I'm not talking about you and I. I'm just talking about the nature of this whole thing. Is he in? Is he out? Is he gonna do a cameo? It's like, God blessed, man. Can an announcement just get made? Can he just go? Just go, dude. Just go.
I get that a lot.
But
when is Warner Brothers going to announce anything? Maybe they don't announce anything.
No, maybe it just sort of happens.
It just goes. It just happens.
Because if you announce it, then you put a spotlight on it more so than if it just sort of like, so Jake Gyllenhaal's the new Batman, and of course they'll have to. Oh, I don't know, Bill. It goes both ways. Because as I'm thinking about it out loud, if they don't announce it, then that's just more questions they have to ask as they're trying to promote the film and talk about it.
Well, sadly, this is not the last Affleck discussion we're going to have. That's going to come at the end. But look, I say you make Suicide Squad 2 and you don't have any damn cameos. You don't put Superman in it. You don't put Wonder Woman in it. You don't put Aquaman. You sure as hell don't put Batman in it, especially when Matt Reeves is bringing in his own dude, allegedly, supposedly. That's what it's looking like, and we've been hearing that for damn near a year. And there's no point of having Affleck cameo, and then another Batman a year or two later in Reeves' film. I just,
pretend like it's 1993, and there's going to be a Suicide Squad movie in 1993.
Yeah.
The studio knows, everybody knows that Tim Burton is out, Michael Keaton is out. Joel Schumacher's coming in. He's recast, bringing Val Kilmer. It's going to be a new aesthetic. But in that Suicide Squad movie, in 93, 94, between Returns and Forever, there's a cameo with Michael Keaton's Batman. That's the same thing they would be doing if they did that. And think about how weird that would be.
Yeah.
And why, and pointless as well. Unless it was merely a contractual thing. Come on, listen, these contracts, you know as well as I do.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't matter if he's contracted for another film. It doesn't have to happen either way,
Because if they both agree to just split it,
Warner Brothers, he's going to still he'll make another film as a director for Warner Brothers, probably plural, and he'll probably he'll make a film for Warner Brothers as an actor, and that's maybe plural. I mean, they're still in Warner Brothers in the Ben Affleck business. And wants to be, and he probably wants to be in. Now, this whole thing with the DC and the Batman, that's gotten toxic and whatnot. But yeah, okay.
And I like Affleck as an actor. There's sometimes he's really great. I mean, Shakespeare in Love, he was absolutely phenomenal, and I really loved him in BVS, and he was great in Chasing Amy. I mean, there's a lot of films I look back on his career and say, man, he was really great. There's a lot of films where he wasn't so great. Justice League is one of them.
Yeah.
But he is a powerhouse director. Yeah. So my point to all that is I'd almost like to see him nurture that. You're a really good actor, man, but man, you're a kick-ass director. Yeah. Like you are the director to like Gary Oldman's acting. That's kind of where you're going in terms of the films that he's already done. He's that good.
I mean, I want to see. He had one hiccup with Live by Night and whatever.
I never saw.
What director? What great director has never had a hiccup or two?
Right. Sure.
All right. We're going to get back to that.
Except Nolan, he's God.
Well,
that's an inside joke.
You know what? He hasn't had a poorly reviewed film.
No.
I'm not a fan of Interstellar. The rest of his stuff I really like, and it depends on
You're not a fan of Interstellar. That's right.
I am not a fan of Interstellar.
I think that's an overwrought, pretentious mess. Is what I think.
I did not. Did not like that movie. Now his last one, Dunkirk. Jesus.
No, listen, Nolan's a brilliant filmmaker.
Have you seen Dunkirk?
No.
You got to watch that, dude.
I know. Marty wants to see it, and so we're like, we've got to watch it.
It's really, you have to see it 2 or 3 times to really appreciate it. Watch Dunkirk. Maybe we'll do a damn Dunkirk podcast or vlog, whatever.
I would love it.
Okay.
There's a lot of things about these podcasts that we have coming up that I love. It's putting a fire into my ass.
Hold on. At the end, you're going to talk about that, sir. All right, let's move on. According to the Wrap, Margot Robbie has her choice of, well, there's a choice. I don't know if it's her choice. I don't know how they worded it. But anyway, here's the 3 possibilities for Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, and I think we know the answer to it already. Apparently, there's a choice of Suicide Squad 2, this Birds of Prey / Gotham City Sirens thing, and that Joker Harley movie. It's going to be what, Rick?
Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah, that's so you. I'm telling you now, you can scratch off Birds of Prey / Gotham City Sirens. That ain't going to happen. I'll be shocked if it happens. And Joker versus Harley, no.
Listen. Suicide Squad 2. Let's hone in on that for a second. I don't remember Mario or when you recapped it mentioning this. What about the other cast members? Is Will Smith? Is Jared Leto? Or all those guys?
Apparently, apparently Leto will be back as the Joker.
Great.
So is Will Smith coming back as Deathshot. Now, he's filming a movie now. Now, here's the thing Mario put on his report. Was it Joel Kinnaman? Is that how you say his last name?
Joel Kinnaman, I think that's right.
Okay, Joel Kinnaman. Okay, he's the one who, he posted a picture with him and the Captain Boomerang guy, Jack Courtney, and Jay Hernandez. Jay Hernandez, who played El Diablo, and they were back in the gym being trained. Said the trainer had the trainer there, mentioned him. We're getting back. He's getting us back in shape. The gang's back together, getting back in shape. So, I mean, you can kind of connect the dots. What are they getting back in shape for? Suicide Squad 2 is about to start filming at some point here this year. And Mario made a good point about Will Smith, is that as Deadshot, he's in a mask a lot. So they can start filming and not have him there in the beginning while he finished the other film, and have him, whatever they need, the Deadshot stuff with a stuntman or whatever, stand in with the Deadshot mask and all that, and he can do all the other stuff once he's done. So that movie's happening. That's going to happen, dude.
I think that's great, and give Leto, give Jared, give him his due. Right? I think he was really strong.
I never had a problem with him as the Joker. I never had a problem with the aesthetic. I mean, we talked about that in the other, I think in the last podcast. So I know some people can't stand it, but hey, look, man, coming off you following Heath Ledger's performance in Dark Knight, that's a tough job, no matter what, no matter what.
You got to just do something different, and that's what he did, and I applaud him for it.
I know. Okay, moving on, something you're fired up for, I know for a fact, Rick. Justice League is coming out on home video. You can get it digitally on February 13th, 2018, and you can get it on Blu-ray and DVD on March 13th.
Hey, and Superman's in that movie.
Yes, Superman. Superman is in the film.
Because I see all these commercials now with Superman and the marketing.
Yes. And
interesting choice.
And there are bonus scenes included. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, let's clear this up. They did not edit these bonus scenes into the film, and you're not going to be getting an extended cut, and you sure as hell aren't getting a
Snyder cut.
Yes. I don't know if you want to say it. So, I'll get a Blu-ray that will be sent to me for a reviewing copy. I'll go through the bonus features, and in fact, you can go on Batman on Film. Warner Brothers sent me, the press release, and I've got that up. You can see what the bonus features are, but I'm just gonna, don't be disappointed because they're not going to edit these scenes into the film. Basically, they are the scenes that were going to be in the film, but were cut to keep the film under 2 hours. Wouldn't you agree, Rick?
I assume that all these scenes are shot by Snyder, or were these Justice scenes? Do we even know?
Probably a combination.
Probably a combination.
But, just like the film itself, there were combinations.
Hey, listen. People are making a big deal about this. Not everybody, but I'm seeing it online. This is just some deleted scenes on a DVD. That's all it is. That's it. It's just common. It's getting all this attention because of the whole Snyder cut and all that stuff, right? Yeah. It's just going to be some deleted scenes, some stuff that looks like it's obviously centered around Superman, which is cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing the scenes. Yeah, and it'll be obvious if it was Snyder or Joss.
Yeah, I mean, it was stuff cut to keep it. We know the film was it was mandated to be under 2 hours, so it was 1 hour and 59 minutes. And they did trim back stuff that was going to be in the theatrical release. That's probably it. They're not digging up stuff that Zack Snyder shot, because a lot of that stuff's not finished and probably will never be finished. I can't make that clearer to folks. I don't want to rehash this. There's no Snyder cut coming, y'all. Stop. Rick, anything? Okay.
I'll just we'll talk about the scenes when the DVD comes out.
Okay. All right. Yes, we will. We'll do a vlog review of that, or a podcast, whatever. So look forward to that here in the next couple of months. All right. Variety says that Flashpoint may have their directors, Rick, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, who wrote one of your favorite superhero movies, Spider-Man: Homecoming, are apparently in talks to write and direct. I'm not sure. Probably write as well, and co-direct Flashpoint together. And here's the kicker, which I told you Affleck's not going away yet. Variety also says that Warner Brothers asked Ben Affleck, or offered him the job to direct first, and he apparently turned it down. Now, Collider, they said their sources say, that would be Stephen Frosty over there, said that his sources say that's not true, but, you know, I'm not saying that he's wrong, but I'm just saying if Variety is reporting this is probably coming straight from the studio. It's almost a pseudo press release, so whatever.
Yeah, Collider's legit, but he may not be right on this one, and that's okay.
And if he is, whatever.
We don't,
Ben Affleck's not directing it anyway, so
we all swing and miss sometimes. And I don't really know, and I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. Here, I'll say this. I guess it's kind of interesting, but if it's true, and let's just say that it's true for purposes of this point, then I think that is just one more way to solidify that he's not doing Batman. Like, this is sort of his.
He probably was saying, "Okay, dude, you can direct this. You can feature Batman how you want it in there, cameo, whatever, extended cameo, and then you're done, man." You know?
Yeah.
And you know, let's be honest. Like you said a while ago, Rick, having Affleck direct it brings a little cachet. You know?
Yeah.
Still,
well,
even with all the drama and the Live by Night thing and everything, it's still he's a top-notch director. So I'm with you on that. Was a good point. Go ahead.
No, that's just it. I mean, and also think about the PR purposes of this. They could just downplay it. Affleck could go on TV and say, "Yeah, I had a great run as Batman. I love Batman. Yeah. I bet it's my time to step aside. Jake's going to be great. I'm going back to the director's chair, and let's talk about what I'm directing." And if it's laid out that way, there's not a lot of like, but let's ask about this. It just sort of kills it. It's just it is matter of factly as it gets. But that's a moot point anyway, because he's obviously not directing it. But so we'll see how it plays out.
Well, I think you had a good point. If he did indeed decline the offer, it is more proof that I'm done with this. I'm done with this. It's time for me to step away.
I've had serious doubts that Henry Cavill is going to get a sequel.
Yeah, I
might ultimately be proven wrong on that.
Yeah,
and
you want to be proven wrong on that.
And I've said I want to be proven wrong on that. 95% of me does. Yeah. There is a part of me that kind of wants to see everybody just move on. But that's only because I want this to work and be successful, and I don't know if that's the right formula or whatever, because I feel like people would tune them out, unfortunately. But they shouldn't, and hopefully they won't, and if they move forward with it, I am excited to see him in the party again. So I've said that. And I've also said I don't have any sources that are telling me anything. This is just my opinion. Affleck is not going to be in Matt Reeves' Batman. I will eat crow if I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Period.
And
if he does, you guys can loop this, throw darts at it, tell me I'm an idiot. That's fair game. I'm just saying right now it's not going to happen. So,
and you know what? If we're wrong, I like Affleck. It's not like I'm going to go, GD, he's Batman again, and then throw a temper tantrum and go, I'm not watching that movie. I'm over it. I prefer him gone. I'm with you on that. So we'll see. I think he's gone. I'm with you. So,
I had money back in February of last year. He was gone.
Yeah.
Right after Justice League.
I think you can make a bet in Vegas on whether he's coming back and who's going to be the next Batman. So that's
But he tweeted him. He tweeted to Matt Reeves, "Welcome to the Batcave, Bill."
Yeah, that means he's.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yes.
Kicks dirt.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Go kick a can down the road. All right.
All the old Twitter wars we used to get into. I don't miss those days.
No. All right. So look, I think we hit the high points and low points and highlights of the week when it comes to DC on film, Batman. We talked about Gotham by Gaslight. We talked about Justice League out on home video is coming soon. Blah blah blah. So, Rick, anything you can think of off the top of your head that we missed and may want to discuss? If not, we'll just move on to plugs and get the hell out of here.
No, because all this stuff right now, like I said, I'll just say this again. I feel like all those films will probably get made. Flashpoint, I will be. That's the one I think is probably the least likely. And the jury's still out on this Man of Steel 2 thing with Henry Cavill. I'm not convinced that's going to happen still, but if it does, great. That really is great. I don't want to see that guy's last performance in Justice League with a CGI lip.
I know, and also look, I know that he is a good friend of the site, Chris McKay. I'm not 100% sure that Nightwing will happen. I hope it happens, and it'll be interesting to see if it does what it is. Is it its own thing in its own universe, completely different than the Matt Reeves Batman, or was he Robin under the Matt Reeves? I mean, you know.
Sure.
Well,
we're supposed to see him in April over lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll
San
see if we
Antonio,
can.
right?
Yeah,
San Antonio.
San Antonio. So maybe we can.
I will get to.
And
we
obviously would never reveal anything private.
Yeah.
He told us, but maybe we can fill him out in person.
Yeah, cool.
Chris is a cool dude.
Yeah, he is.
He really is.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thing. I had a bat poll I put up yesterday. What's your take on it, Rick? Would you like to see a traditional Robin, teenage Robin, in Matt Reeves' Batman film?
When I was looking at that and I saw your comment about you prefer Batman to be alone, I do as well. But I do love the character of Robin. It's hard to pull off. I mean, ask Joel Schumacher. I think Joel Schumacher did a good job with what I don't like the movie, but I like aspects of it, and I like some of the dynamic between Bruce and Dick in that film. But still, when I watch it, just like the scene when he shows up at Wayne Manor on his motorcycle, and Commissioner Gordon's like, "Can you take this kid in?" And I remember sitting in the audience going, "Why don't this kid get a freaking job in an apartment? He's like 19 years old."
I know he's supposed to be like 16, 17 in the movie.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying.
Well,
that's,
I know. But my point is this.
I know Chris O'Donnell wasn't.
It goes to the heart of this, though. But my point still stands is that it's really hard to make him work on film. If you make him too young in a live film, it's abuse. Mm-hmm. It's literally abusive for a grown man to let a 13-year-old go out and fight crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's weird now. It worked in the comics in the 1940s all the way through the 1980s, man. But it started to get weird in the 90s. It's a weird concept. Yeah. It just is.
It was.
Or late 80s.
Robin was brought in 1940 to lighten up Batman and and be a conduit or a surrogate for the kids and that's who these funny books were marketed to, were kids, okay?
Right.
And that was their way of kind of, joining Batman on his crusade of crime-fighting crusade, is having this, teenage kid who would represent the reading audience. So, I respect all the people who love Robin and make very passionate and strong cases of why Batman needs Robin and why there should be a traditional Robin.
I do too, but again,
in a film. I stand by that. It comes off kind of. It's hard to pull off.
If you put a 13-year-old character doing that, I don't see how you can make that work. Now, one interesting way you could do it is to make him actually 16, 17 in high school. Make him look like Tom Holland looked in Homecoming, who, by the way, is a 22-year-old dancer. But he looks great as Peter Parker. He looks the age. Or like Matthew Broderick looked as Ferris Bueller when he was like 57 when he did that movie. But not really, but make Robin a sophomore, junior in high school, and make him like much like, to be fair to Joel Schumacher, he touched upon this and it worked. Make him out fighting crime around Batman. He doesn't want him doing it, and there's that struggle, and he's trying to prevent him. He bells them out. They're never, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that's, make that as some kind of subplot, and that could be interesting.
I would buy a 17-year-old who's still technically a child, not an adult yet, and have someone who actually, with not unlike Chris O'Donnell, who was supposed to be 16, 17, but was 22 when he played it. Have someone that age, or your point about Tom Holland is good. You know, Tom Holland looked like he was a kid.
I had a friend that asked me one time on this analogy. I've used it before. He's like, "How do you justify then Peter Parker out fighting crime and not Dick Grayson, assuming they're the same age?" Because I think even in sophomore, junior, it's weird. But it's a real simple answer.
Yeah.
Peter Parker has godlike abilities.
Yes.
And he can protect himself, and he's going to utilize those abilities to you know what I'm saying? Like, he almost has an obligation to do it. Whereas Dick Grayson,
great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, like Dick Grayson's is a badass mofo, but he's still a kid, and he doesn't have superpowers, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference there.
Yes, there is a difference there.
There is a difference. So it is a good argument, and look, just if Nolan couldn't make it work, so he did what he did with John Blake, which you and I like. I thought that was neat. Purists don't like it, but they're not.
I loved it. Look, and I had no idea it was coming. I had no idea it was coming when he said, use your real name, or you should use your real name, Robin. I went, holy shit, that was freaking awesome. It was brilliant to work it in there.
The first still shot I saw of him in maybe 2011, whenever it was, early 2012, I can't remember now. I was like, he's going to be Robin. I just knew it. And then the orphan vision scene, as Justin likes to call it, was one of my favorite scenes in the whole trilogy. I knew then, too. I'm like, he's Robin. And, like, I don't know. He's just supposed to be a symbolic Robin. But then for Nolan to actually call him Robin, I thought that was cool. Yeah. But obviously, that can't be redone, right? You either not have him in it, or you have Robin. And listen, in B versus S, Bruce is looking at Robin's suits, probably Jason Todd, and he's dead. And so that's interesting. So we'll see. But
are we even going to?
Well,
if we're soft rebooting, we're going to latch onto that and go back to that continuity. Are we going to try to finish plot that Zack Snyder dropped in BVS?
That's a problem with all this. Is that's what makes my head spin. Is if it's a reboot, that's a real easy thing. If it's a soft reboot, you're like, what can they bring over or not?
You just ignore what you don't want to carry on or be a part of the soft rebooted universe. So,
but there's a scene in Batman Forever where Bruce makes a comment about former girlfriends. I can't remember the line, but I remember watching going, he's probably talking about Vicky Vale and Selena there or something. But you can do stuff like that. But
Chase Meridian mentions, do I need to wear skin tight leather and bring a whip or whatever the line was.
That's right. She does have that line too.
Refers to.
That's right. That one's more on the nose too.
Refers to Catwoman, and then there's in Batman Returns. You have Selena, and he talks about Vicky. She didn't like my dual life, or whatever the hell it was. But there was Batman Returns is damn near a soft reboot of what was in Batman '89. We could even have a debate on that if we wanted to. So anyway, all right, Rick, let's plug some stuff. Go ahead and plug what you want, and also, you've got some cool shows coming up. So I may want to sneak in on one of those shows, Rick, if it's okay.
Yeah, of course. So Mario and I are going to be doing something. We got a lot of things lined up. We're going to do something.
Francisco Robles from.
I am MFer from Revenge of the Fans and El Fanboy. We got some Superman and Star Wars stuff coming up. There'll be a Han Solo podcast trailer at some point, whenever the hell they decide to release it. It's almost everywhere, so that'll be interesting. And then I'm going to do a Superman in cinema, and we're going to have this guy Shiraz from Comic Book Debate, first time on the show. Zach Eson's going to be on that one. We're going to have Zachy from HuffPost, our friend of the show, and then Justin. And we're just going to talk about Superman in cinema. It's going to be a hard show to control. I'm hosting it because I just want to talk about Chris Reeve, Brandon Routh, and Henry Cavill, and not get off into the comics and animation necessarily, or the TV shows, or Smallville, or whatever. Obviously, those things will get brought up, but I think that's going to be a really cool discussion.
Yeah, I'm kicking dirt. Can I maybe join in on that show? I would.
You absolutely, of course, you could join in on that show.
I kind of like to talk about that with y'all. I am a fan of.
I may try to schedule it.
Superman, yeah.
I may try to schedule it for next Saturday. I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right, Rick, and also we are trying. We're doing our best. I don't know if we can pull it off. We're going to try to get a screening of The Dark Knight for the 10th anniversary. Rick is efforting some stuff. Is anything? I've reached out to Warner Brothers and they got back to me. So we're working, man. We're working on it. Rick, what? Anything you want to mention about that?
Yeah. I don't want to. I like that we're just talking about it to see people interested. But I'm supposed to talk Monday morning with the lady from the Cinemark group. I talked to the big dog on Friday, but even the big dog's like, you got to go through my girl to do this. But he gave me some information, so I'll find out more on Monday. This all just kind of comes down to financials.
Yes, we're gonna try. All right, we're gonna do our best. Look, hey, Patreon would help with that. I'm not going to lie, but we'll see. And also let us know through, email me, email Rick, in the comments, and especially on those Facebook pages. We have two. We have the fan discussion group, which is pretty much like a message board, and of course we have the Batman on Film fan site. But if we bring it up, hey, do you want to see a Batman on Film screening of The Dark Knight? We're going to do it in Dallas or wherever. Let us know. We need to gauge interest, right, Rick?
Yeah, for sure. And so I think what we do, Bill, is let's get the final tally of this thing. What we can all do on our ends ourselves, obviously, and then say, okay, here's the balance. Who all wants to do this? And we can reach this number. We can throw a private screening of The Dark Knight and throw a party. Yeah. And we'll go from there.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Anything else to plug?
I just want to say that it was really cool to meet Ryan Haas yesterday.
Okay.
All these years of talking to him, we talk on the phone 3 times a week. We podcast. We're BOF family members. Never met him in person until yesterday. He had a 3-hour layover in Dallas, and I picked him up and got a little ambitious. We left DFW Airport, for those of you know this geographically.
I was worried about y'all, man.
I took him to downtown to my bar, and we had brunch there, and then I'm glad he's not much of a drinker, because I only had one Bloody Mary. If I get around other drinkers, I'll have 3 or 4. So that was good. It didn't sideline my day. So then I took him back to the airport. It was great, man. It was like we said. Now every time we're on the phone or on podcasts, now we're gonna, it's once you meet someone in person, it just changes the relationship, man. Like I'm on the phone with somebody. I'm like, if I'm on the phone with you and you're getting worked up, I can see the look in your face. I know your mannerisms.
I never get worked up when we're on the telephone, Rick.
Well, you know what I mean. Just anything. I'm talking about just when you know somebody.
I was kidding. I have been worked up on the phone with Rick, and Rick usually has a good way of
talking you off the ledge.
Talking me off the ledge and getting me. I get a little fired every once in a while. What do you call Wild Bill? That picture that you always post
from Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
From Mad Dog Tannen. That's you.
Yeah. We're just hey, look, we got some Texas redneck in us, man. Sometimes it comes out. Yeah, that gummit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Twitter, gonna throw your Twitter out there.
Shew Rick. And then if you're into politics, go to Left Shoe Politics on YouTube. Please subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to this channel. And there's going to be some political discussions coming up soon on podcasts as well.
Look, tweet to Rick, tweet to me at Batman on Film about that Batman or Dark Knight screening if you're interested and would travel. It looks like now we're targeting the Dallas area, but hey, it's a good place to visit. So we'll see. We're still in the works. I'll hear what Warner Brothers has to say as well. Who knows what they're going to do? Maybe they're talking about it and may involve Batman on Film somehow. So we'll see. All right.
Hey, at the very least, let me say this: if we can't make it work, I think, and Ryan brought this up to me yesterday in person, actually, that there's probably going to be some screenings of this around the country somewhere, somehow. So maybe if we can't make the logistics work, maybe we'll just piggyback on another one and say, just like if we're doing a premiere. Anyway, I think that one way or the other, we'll have some sort of BOF, something about The Dark Knight.
Rick knows enough people in Dallas. We could get a side room in a frickin' bar and put up a bed sheet and get a damn projector, put in a Blu-ray and throw that son of a bitch up, and we'll watch it and have a party, and it'll be fun anyway. So we'll do something. That's
exactly right.
All right. So, Batman on film, authoritative, definitive,
and the dadgum original.
Yes, it is. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Later, guys.